Here are the hints for this week's combined homework sheet. First question, numbers basically. We remember bod mass. Bod mass tells us that we have to do the multiplying part first and the dividing part first before we deal with the takeaway. So work out the answer to the first part, work out the answer to the second part, do a takeaway to get your answer. Question 2, we have a little formula which says 20 minus 4x squared y. We need to substitute in negative 1 and 3. So we end up with 20, take away 4 times negative 1 squared times 3. Again, bod mass tells us we do this part first of all, and then the takeaway. Question 3, subtract fractions. Well, if you deal with the whole numbers first of all, we've got a 3 here, we don't have a whole number here, so 3 take away 0 is going to be 3, and then we're going to deal with the fractional part. Now you're going to use your good old kiss and smile method, so 5 times 3 is 15. Do your cross multiplication part, 1 times 3, take away 5 times 2. Now the problem's going to be this up here, the 3 take away 10. I'm going to leave you to try and work out how to deal with that. Question 4, factorise. So into 2 brackets, must be 3x times x to make 3x squared. You just need to decide where the 2 and where the 1 goes, and whether it's plus 2, minus 1, minus 2, plus 1, and so on and so on. Question 5, what's the name of this straight line? Well, we know to work out the equation of a straight line we need its gradient first of all. Now we have the point 10, 3 in the question. This point 4 here is actually written in coordinates as 4, 0. So m 3 take away 0 over 10 take away 4, you can go from there. You know that it passes through the point 10, 3, so that allows you to use the formula y minus b equals mx minus a. However, look, it's t and s that the variables are, not y and x. Question 6, solve this in equation. I'm not really going to help you with this here, you know how to do that. Question 7, first of all we've put 4 into the formula, so it becomes 3 to the power 4. And the second part, which is a wee bit trickier, this time we've got the formula which is equal to a number. So let's put the formula 3 to the power x equal to the value root 27. Now the only way we can have a root sign here on the right hand side is if this power here was a fraction. So we know that it's 3 to the power of fraction equals root 27. You should know how you get a root, what needs to be on the fraction for the root, and how do we get 27 from 3. Question 8, a percentage question. Bought a car, it's fallen by 12.5%, so we know how we're going to do that. We're going to start with 100, take away 12.5%, that's going to leave us with 87.5%. We know how much it is now. We're asked how much it was last year, so that means we're going backwards, so it's a reverse percentage. A reverse percentage, we know it's a divide, so the value divide by the percentage that we had earlier. And remember, you're allowed a calculator for this one. Question 9, we are told that the first angle here is 50. We're told that the second angle is 125, right round there is 125, so that means that little one in there must be 75, because 50 and 75 makes 125. We know this size is 35, we know this size is 20, we're trying to find x here, so we've got the situation where we need one side when we know the other two, so it's going to be a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. And you can go through that. Question 10, trig equation. First of all, take the 2 over. Secondly, take the 3 over. Now you're at your all sine tan cos part. Sine equals a negative answer. We're going to tick these boxes. You can go from there. Question 11. First thing we notice is we have a triangle. We've got 2 angles, 24 and 42, so we can automatically work out what the third one is. So that's what you should always do with these questions. We're trying to find the length of the longest sloping side, so we're trying to find that side there. When we know angles and sides, then it's going to be A over sine A, B over sine B, C over sine C. Question 12. Now, there's a mistake in the question. 6 metres of edging, remember, you need. So that requires that this distance along the top, this distance down the side, this distance here, and this distance here all adds up to 6. Question tells us to call these 2 parts x and x. I'm going to call these parts here y and y. So x add y, add y, add x. So I'm just going round the shape like that. Okay, x, y, y and x. We know that all adds up to 6. So if I gather together the like terms, 2x and 2y make 6. I can rearrange that formula to get y equals. And that's the first part of the question. Okay, let me take that bit away now, since we've done the first part. Give us a bit of space for the second part of the question. Okay, second part of the question is the area. So we have to maximise the area. So we've got a picture which looks something like that we need to work out the area. So if I split it up into 2 shapes, what do we know? We know this is x, we know this is x, and we know this is 3 minus x. We also know that this whole distance here is 3 minus x. Because we know this little distance here is x, it's got to match the x on this side obviously, then this part of the distance here is going to be this value, take away that value. So this part here is going to be 3 minus 2x. So let me tidy that up. And we know that this little bit here is now 3 minus 2x. Now the area of the bottom rectangle is x times 3 minus x, which is 3x minus x squared, and the area of the top rectangle is x times 3 minus 2x, which is 3x minus 2x squared. So the total area is these 2 answers added together. And 3x add 3x is 6x, and minus x squared minus 2x squared is minus 3x squared. So that's how you work out part B. To do part C, then it says find the maximum area. So you have to find the maximum value of 6x minus x squared. That's just like saying what's the turning, minus 3x squared. That's just like saying what's the turning point. So imagine you were drawing a graph for it. Okay, how do you find the roots? Factorise first of all. That gives you the roots. Then find your line of symmetry. And then plug in the x value to get the turning point. I'll give you a clue that this one should look something like that. So you're trying to find this point here. Okay, you get these 2 roots, you get that line of symmetry, then you can work out what that point is, and that point is the answer for C.